All right. Welcome to this is our Intuitive Energy Medicine membership webinar. And it's the purpose of our membership webinar is to explain what the membership is and how it works. So I did say this earlier, but if you want to follow along on your notes pages I sent you, you are welcome to pull that out and look at it. We'll cover the details here, and you can also go back afterwards. You'll get the replay with your email, and you can just go through this and it'll give you the details on all the stuff, so you don't have to keep it in your mind. If you don't want to, you can just watch and have fun. All right, let's try that one. Okay, so we're starting with I'm just going to introduce myself. I think some of you know me well, and some of you may not. My name is Aubrey Wallace. I'm a naturopathic physician in Washington State. And I wanted to give you both of my credentials. I have credentials as a naturopathic doctor, and I have medical intuitive credentials. So as a naturopathic physician, I've been a naturopath since 2013. I have advanced training in homeopathy, psychoneuroimmunology, and Ruby Med assessment, and I do a lot with restorative medicine and genetics with MTHFR pathways, that sort of thing. Right now in my practice, I specialize really in autoimmune, attention deficit, spectrum disorders, and do a lot of work with women and children who have anxiety, often from empathy and having superpowers in my clinic. I do a lot of energy medicine type doctoring. I also have a background, just for your information, in IV therapies. I've worked a lot with oncology. I've worked with Lyme. I've worked with chronic illness. I did spend about 7 years teaching anatomy and physiology and pathology. So I have a lot of background on the naturopathic side, and I do enjoy being a naturopathic doctor. This is not my naturopathic doctorate. So this is me as a medical intuitive practitioner. And I have been a medical intuitive since 2012 professionally, but my whole life I've done a lot of healing work. I spent about 18 years being a massage therapist. And in that time, I was craniosacral therapist. I was an upledger for TA for upledger. I've been a Reiki master for about 26 years now. And I'm also a third generation healer in my family, at least 3 we know of. And like I said before, or maybe I didn't, I am a strong empath. So I feel everything. So those are the things that have driven me into doing this type of work. So I'm going to just start with kind of my story, just so you get an idea of who I am. And I know this is all sometimes the boring part for everyone, but we'll try to keep it entertaining. I grew up in rural Montana. This is actually a picture my mom sent me a couple of weeks ago of the crazy mountains. Those are my mountains. I really grew up off the land. My parents raised us off the grid. And in rural Montana, that's a whole lot of land. I feel like this is a foundational part of me. So if you want to know me, I have a foundation in nature. My earliest memories are of nature. And one of the early stories my mom tells about me actually was that I came in one day and said, "Mom, I'm going to draw a picture of God," right? I was little, I think I was like 5. And so I went over and drew a picture, and it had, like a tree for the nose and all these aspects of nature that were together to bring the picture of God. And I think at that young age that was a little naive, but I also feel that on a basic level, that's how I experience spirituality. I learned to watch the natural world. I watched it have its own natural laws. I watched it be bigger than me and me not be important sometimes. And I was very connected to the spirits of the land, of the animals, definitely of trees and water, rivers and rocks. Like that was where I grew up, and my foundation in connection with the divine started there. When I was very little, I did have a childhood trauma that resulted in a near-death experience for me when I was about 6. So that I had a lot of intuitive stuff when I was very young, and I think I had that trauma, and then I shut it down for a lot of my middle to high school life. About age 5 to age 12, I was kind of trying really hard to fit in Montana and the places I lived. The other really significant thing about me is I think that I grew up my parents had come back from the Peace Corps in India, and they moved to rural Montana and decided to build a solar underground pyramid in the middle of the state. And so I spent my childhood in this kind of process, watching my parents kind of vision out something for themselves and build it. It took them a long time. It took them about 12 years to build this house. It's still there, and it's it's passive solar and completely sustainable. I think one of the things that's foundational about this for me is this taught me about vision and taught me about community and working together to create something that is good for the world and good for the people in your community. And also, I think it normalized for me that it's okay to learn as you go. It's okay to not know everything first and then grow yourself over the process of creating your vision. I just want to say that's a big piece of who I am. And then as I moved into high school and I actually kind of started to engage more into my healing part, I had my Aunt Kathleen and my Aunt Rosie actually were running women's workshops in the wilderness of Absaroka, Montana. So there are yurts here behind the picture, and then there's a river, and they run women's workshops in summers. And actually my Aunt Kathleen and my mother still run those in the summers. And so from age about 20 till now, I've been running women's workshops with women there. And I had a lot of influence in my family from this. My Aunt Ray was the one that grabbed me in high school and basically woke me up she had a cyst on her arm, and she demanded that I heal it for her. And at the time I was, a biology nerd, and I said I didn't know how, but I tried anyway. And she said, just put your hands on it. So I put my hands on it and I held it for about 20 minutes and I just prayed because I didn't know what else to do. And when I pulled my hands off it, it had disappeared entirely. So she shocked me out of life is not necessarily what you learn in biology school, and keep looking, right? And then after I graduated from high school, she came back into my life, and she actually was supposed to have a knee surgery for a replacement, and she told me she wanted me to fix that as well. And my mother and I sat down with her for about, we worked on a table that time for about 2 hours. And when we were done, she had no pain at all for 6 months. And what was hard for me was I walked away from the table with extreme pain. I wasn't able to stand for about 2 hours. And that kind of also, the healing part shocked me in a wake up. This is something to do. This is something important for my life. This is part of my work. But the empathy part also came up, and I started on a big journey to try to figure out, I love to learn. And so I started to figure out what's going on here. Like, how can I take pain from somebody? And then it went away eventually for me, but this is not something I want to be doing all day. So the rest of my life from after Ray kind of shook me awake through those healing process with my aunts. My Aunt Kathleen this is her yurt. And she is my mentor and an amazing healer. And my mother, who's very independent and has taught us to be independent in our own selves through my life. Those women have been really foundational for me in opening up my gifts and being able to start really seeing a vision of what I want to change in the world and working towards it. One of my other aunts during this process actually got a little involved in a fear aspect with the healing work. And she actually didn't do well with that. And I was able to watch her engage in the ego in a way that was unhealthy. And what I feel like, I feel really grateful to her also, because she taught me to respect the ego, to protect and love and nourish your ego as you're doing a healing process, not to get lost in it, not to cut it out or get rid of it, but actually to love it and nurture it and allow it to help be part of you as you move through the healing. So that's a very important thing for me too in my development. All right. So that's kind of my background. And what I think is even more important to me for you to know about me is what I care about. So if you want to come work with me, I would love to work with you. I'm having great fun with this membership. This membership really is just, it's a deep dive into total life transformation. So this, it seems important to me to try to get across what I value and what I put at the center of my values so that you know what you're dealing with when you come to work with me. So I'm starting with, you'll notice if you work with me, I'm a very detailed person. I have a lot of details that geek me out. And I also have a very strong masculine and feminine perspective, and they kind of, I'm a Gemini, so they both kind of play together, right? And my feminine values are very important to me to embody at all times and to help me to receive things from life and remember to be soft. And I do think our world is changing to more of a feminine focus, which I appreciate immensely. And I think these are the ones that I find, these are the values I find to be central to my own work. Beauty. I find this very important in my body maps, in my engaging with people. I see beauty in everyone. I've even seen beauty in serial killers, right? It's nuts for me, but people are incredibly beautiful, and they are uniquely beautiful. And that, if I can keep that focus, I find that almost everything turns out okay. Harmony. Harmony is complicated, but harmony is my reminder of we're resonating at all these different individual frequencies, all of us. Or you could think of it as we all sing our own song, right? And we all have all these harmonics through our entire past and our ancestry that make us unique, a unique expression in the world. And it's good for me if I can see someone's beauty and how they're moving through their life, and then I can feel for the harmony that is happening for them across their life. Those two aspects of the feminine really feel like they integrate to help me get a sense of excitement about where to go with people's health. Truth. The feminine aspect of truth, you'll see I have truth and love in both the masculine and feminine. For me, the feminine truth is cooperative. It's very, it's a cooperative, sometimes indirect, more like a weaving version of truth that I feel comes through my feminine aspect. Clear, definitely, as the masculine is, but more based on evolution, more based on cooperation. My masculine version of truth is much more direct and cuts through, and the feminine is more allowing and cooperating. Put it there. Peace. Enough said there. Love. My feminine, I have a feminine and masculine love, and actually I have a whole variety of loves that I understand. But my feminine value of love is the unconditional love. So that's, as a feminine aspect, I just love people for who they are, whatever's happening. And trust. Trust sometimes is the most challenging for me. That's one I have to set every single day. But it actually is, I feel it's one of the most important values to keep me getting what I need in the world and helping to support me in supporting others. The masculine values. All right, so my masculine values, number one is wisdom for me. I feel like information is everywhere. We have tons of information. There's so much to know about everything, diets and all the things, right? And I don't really want to just be functioning from intellect. I would like to be functioning from wisdom. So I try to keep that at the center of my heart so that when I'm listening or trying to teach, I'm coming from a place of wisdom and compassion and humility. Those are kind of my triad of the masculine that I feel is the most important in directing the power of my masculine power in life. Masculine love. So I feel masculine love is very much, it's kind of conditional love, I guess, if you want to think about it in a way, but masculine love is direct. Masculine love, it loves people towards their potential, right? It's kind of like fatherly love is the way I think about it. So I see what's possible for you and I'm loving you towards that, versus the mom or the feminine love is, I love you no matter what, you can come and have a cookie, right? Well, probably not a lot of cookies, but masculine love is here. Masculine truth, as I said before, cuts through, very direct, can see all the pieces there. And then unity. I feel like unity is actually kind of the base masculine trait that I try to bring into my active creating in the world version of my life. I think we're here to do this together. I think we're evolving together. And that's my reminder of that. Here is a snapshot of what you're about to see, but I have taken my values and I've put them into a feminine and a masculine geometry, right? And if you look, this is how I bring these into my life every single day. I actually meditate every morning and I set my values in a field, in my energy field, so that I'm walking through the world in a reminder that these are what I'm centered in. All right. Why am I doing this? Okay, so today we are going to learn about what is the membership that is coming, okay? And also, you know, how do you make money on it? I mean, how do you save money on it? And why this would be a good choice for you if it is a good choice for you, and then how to join, right? So that's who I am. This is my vision. My vision from since before naturopathic medical school has been, I just have heard, you're here to change the face of medicine. So that's my vision. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with working from where I am. And so far, from what I've seen in the beautiful journeys of the people I have the blessing to witness, what I think will make us evolve into a collective consciousness that will change medicine, and not just medicine, but health for the world, is for each of us to actually take our own responsibility for our own intuitive way of living in the world. Listen to what we know, listen to our own beauty, our own truth, our own love, and then embody it and move forward into the world with it. So I think we can evolve. I think that although things can look a little scary right now, I think we're at the precipice of an evolution jump right now. And I'm trying to do my part to help you guys if you want to do this dive into the art of evolution, to find you and get yourself right where you need to be so you can start rippling out and affecting all the people that you love and are around you. All right, so we're going to start with, I think some of you have received medical intuitive readings from me before, but I want to just go ahead and start with what is a medical intuitive reading. Medical intuition is a little bit different for me than it is for kind of a conventional medical intuitive, is someone who actually just scans your energy field and essentially energetically diagnoses what's going on for you. And my medical intuition is not quite like that. Part of the reason is I am a doctor. So I'm a naturopathic doctor, but I'm trained in how to diagnose you, and I have really cool tools. Like I can send you for a CT scan, or I can send you for a blood panel and see what autoimmune diseases are going on and that sort of thing. So I love those. Those are really helpful for me. What I find with my medical intuitive readings, though, is that with my intuition, I have a capacity to get underneath that diagnosis, because it doesn't help me too much to know that you have rheumatoid arthritis. That's a box to put you in. It does help sometimes to have that box so that you know I'm not crazy and something is happening for me, right? But after that, having the diagnosis does not take you to health, right? It's a step sometimes, but it's not the thing that brings health for you. And my medical intuitive readings are designed to show you the path to health, not to give you a diagnosis of illness. If you would like a diagnosis of illness, please come see me as a doctor. I'm happy to help you with that. And I'm also happy to help you move towards health in that realm if I can. So my medical intuitive readings are a little different. The goal of my readings is actually to take that diagnosis or whatever symptom picture you have going on, and then I help you kind of get a snapshot of what's going on for your energy field right now. Also, like, what's contributing to this? Like, is this for you really about having an allergy, or is this really about your 7th generation ancestor on your dad's side that you're still playing that pattern out through the whole of your life? Those are really different approaches when you try to work with healing. So these are extremely useful in narrowing down a focus to where you can look in order to maximize your own effort, essentially, in regaining health. All right, my 90-minute session, so my 90-minute medical intuitive readings include a body map. And a body map is something that I do a meditation prior to meeting you, and I draw a map of your energy field, which is essentially a picture, like a color picture. And this is one of my body maps of me, right? So each map actually is supposed to be a representation of your entire field, of all your chakras, and it also kind of gives some impression of what it feels like the guides want me to show you is going on for you in your life. For example, on this map, maps have all sorts of details, and those details help me interpret what your guides are wanting me to express for you. So on this map, for example, the hair on a map represents how you use your power in the world. And this map, I'm using my power to inspire others, and I'm inspiring them towards evolution, and I'm inspiring them towards their own superpowers. And I'm doing that through, it looks like at that time, I was doing that through trying to maintain my values at the center of my heart. So each map has a lot of symbology and meaning that helps me kind of guide you towards what I see going on. It also has a masculine and feminine aspect. It also represents each of the chakras, if you're familiar with those, and what's going on for the different chakra areas. Here's kind of a little tour to it, so you can get a snapshot of what body maps are like. So here are some of my map progressions over the years. I've been drawing myself body maps since like 2000 something. So this is actually, this whale one is my current body map. So that's who you're dealing with now. This big whale breaching out of the water. And the one before that was actually this bird one, which, I mean, sometimes the body maps come through without a body at all, right? This one was helping me to learn how to move from my 6th chakra and connect in. And there was a lot of mediumship coming through for me in that phase of my life. This one was about protection. There was a cosmic egg that came around me. And this is a very old map here. So a long time ago, sometimes, like, I was in a power stance with my community, but I was down on my knee in my own ancestral patterns. So the maps can be completely different each time. And what you'll find is with the IEM membership in particular, with just a medical intuitive reading, you get one of these, right? You get a snapshot, and we go through it and kind of explore what's going on for you, and what do your guides want you to know about your health right now? Like, do you need to actually be a little bit more like a Cancer moon this week and just let yourself rest and let the community grow? Or do you need to actively start moving those growth things out to the community and offer them those kind of guidance? The maps, like if you work in the IEM membership, you'll notice that the maps actually show an evolution of you over time. And they kind of actually help with evolution, I'm noticing as well. It seems like the feedback I'm getting from the participants in the other waves has been that they are so excited to get their next map. And the maps are actually an externalized, like a picture for them or a map for them of what's happening inside. And it's really a lot of confirmation to see that as they move through the program. All right, so in the medical intuitive readings, you will just get the one body map, and you'll get something called I call the window of health. The window of health is actually, it kind of looks like a window on the picture. I don't know if you guys can see this. It looks like that. Okay, so the window of health is something that I use to kind of narrow down really quickly into what factors are the most high contributors to what's going on with the imbalance you're having in your health. And I get that guidance through numbers. I'm not actually very good with numbers, and I think that's why my guides give that to me that way, because I can't mess it up too much. So you'll see this in the mini assessment at the end. But basically, if someone asks me, like, why do I have insomnia? The window of health is 8 factors that contribute to health. And those include infection, environmental factors like toxins, allergies, musculoskeletal, structural, and genetic. That's like a whole 4 there. So that's lots of the lifestyle factors also go in there with like nutrition and exercise, that sort of thing. And then the frame of the window is kind of the deeper ingrained things that contribute to who you are on a physical level and on an emotional level. Beliefs, like limiting beliefs, is number 5. And number 6 is ancestral patterns. Number 7 is like large scale stress factors. So stress from being geopathic stress is here, or stress from the earth, like being in the wrong location on the earth, or, system stress. So having systemic racism or sexism, or just, people who work in a big organization like a hospital sometimes will have high level stress just on them as an individual from that organized structure. And then I have a category called other, which is the 8. And that can be a lot of things. So that can go anywhere from, a lot of people will have a health crisis around their life purpose. Like they'll be like, I need to get back on my contract. My body is breaking down because I need to be doing my work. And that's like a life purpose 8. That also has, on that other end of 8, has past lives or entities. You can have a lot of weird stuff show up on number 8. All right. And then each one also has a chakra that we focus on as the imbalance. So which chakra do we want to hone in on to work with today on what's going on with your health? So if someone says I have insomnia, my guides would give me, that's probably a chakra 3 issue for this person. If it's a chakra 3 issue, that means that we need to look at, maybe they're picking up too much empathy from their environment, or they need to shut off their EMFs, right? So those kind of things that would go in a chakra 3 perspective, they just don't feel okay. They can't go to sleep because they aren't okay. Versus, root chakra imbalance with insomnia would be, they aren't grounded. They just can't lower their energy enough to fall asleep. So a grounding mat or grounding techniques might be more, or exercise might be better choice for that person. Each reading also has the chakra that will be your strength. So what gets you through into health? The one that's out of balance, so say the 3rd chakra was out of balance and they have insomnia, and the guides would then give me, the 5th chakra is the strength. So they need to actually start expressing who they are in the world and being kind with themselves and speaking their truth. And the more they do that, the more balanced they will feel in their 3rd. That's an example there. All right. So medical intuitive reading is a 90-minute reading. You can buy one anytime you want. They're lots of fun. I love doing them. I still love doing them. And they are extremely helpful if you need to get on track with what to do if you're a little bit lost with your health. I tend to see a lot of people who have tried just about everything, and these are really effective if you've had some ongoing things that just you haven't been able to get answers for. They usually, at the very least, will offer you a totally different way of looking at what's going on for you, and definitely offer you some tools for what to start with in getting your health. The IEM membership, like I said, is not just that. The IEM membership is taking that concept and actually engaging it as a process of evolution. So the people who want to join the IEM membership are ready to transform their lives. It's very cool to do a medical intuitive reading, and it does make you look at the world completely differently. But what I have found with the IEM membership is this is something that is here to help you see and prioritize your own evolution. So if that's what you're looking for, this is a little bit closer to your plan. So what is the membership? The IEM membership is actually, it's these things. So if you purchase an IEM membership, it's a monthly membership, and you get every month, you get one of those full medical intuitive 90-minute readings with the body map. So you get one of those every month. Then you also each month get 2 30-minute check-ins. So we do a 30-minute check-in, really is just the window of health. So I'll sit down with you, and we know with the evolutionary stuff, a lot of times we're working on things for people, and we'll check in. How are you doing? Are you still on this? Are you still on this chakra? Are you still working with this imbalance? Or is there something new coming up this month that we want more support on? So you get 2 of those a month. And then this has been really exciting for me. We've added a monthly group check-in. So every month, 60-minute group check-in, and everyone brings their maps, and we share the map with each other so that everybody can kind of see what everyone else in the group is evolving like. And then each group in check-in, we also do a tool of some sort. So I will give a tool for the group for us to use in kind of a group. We do a group meditation, and then we do a group tool so that we can use to start utilize in a group way to evolve the rest of the week of the month as well. And then 3 times a year, you get 20-minute meditations. So basically you have a 20-minute meditation that we get together, and I download this directly from your guidance. So if you say, I mean, these have varied so much, they're so much fun. So I've 1 month, I have one person who's got a meditation to talk to, she's a medium, and her guides are telling her how to engage and talk to the dead people in her life. And then I have on the far other end, someone saying, I'm worried about money, like I need some help with money. And they gave them an Excel spreadsheet meditation on how to create abundance in a very systematic way. So those are completely individual and targeted to you and whatever your intention is, and lots of fun. All right, and then if you sign up, you also get these bonuses. So 1 free intuitive supplement check, which that basically means we get together, and I can, as a naturopath, I do this as well, but it's pretty clean to do it as medical intuitive. We sit down with your supplements and we go through them, and I can intuit when you hold a supplement, especially if I use my blocks in the office, I can tell you what that supplement feels like for your body, and I can teach you how to check it for yourself. So my plan with the intuitive supplement checks is to help you learn, how does your body respond to supplements? And more importantly, how can you figure out whether or not taking that supplement will be right for you going forward? So you don't feel like you're just kind of, buffeted around in the world of supplements and what to take when. Also, if you need more help with that as you go through the program, you get a discount on future ones if you need to buy another one, basically. You also get 10% off of Full Script orders. So Full Script is a supplement company that I work with, and it's an online company that I'm happy to give you a discount on supplements through. You get 15% off of intuitive bodywork. So if you want to come and see me, if you need that extra boost on the healing into the body world, then you get a discount on that as well. And then I'm starting to teach courses, and you get 1 free energy medicine class per year. So there are the bonuses. All right, I do need to just disclaimer here. This is an exploration into, this is an energy exploration we're going on if you want to do the IEM membership. This membership is not me being a naturopathic doctor. So if what you're looking for is, medical exams, medical advice, ordering labs, me writing prescriptions for you or calling in prescriptions for you. If you want insurance reimbursement, or if you need to use an HSA account to pay for your care, that's all naturopathic, okay? And that can actually be accessed for at my Snohomish Natural Health location. I am still a naturopathic doctor there. And if you need me as a naturopathic doctor, that's the realm to look for. This is not me. I mean, I have that capacity, but I'm not acting as a doctor at all within this membership. I'm not acting in those respects as a doctor, not diagnosing, not prescribing. All righty. So I can't see you guys, so hopefully you're not asleep yet. But why would you do this? Why would you decide to do the IEM membership? And so the IEM membership actually, like I said, is a deep dive. It's a deep dive into you, okay? So if you are ready to change your life, you need to be ready to change your life if you engage this. If you're willing to use your gifts to serve, if you're here, you kind of know you're ready to do some work and you're wanting to get that going and bring your gifts to the world, that's a good reason to join. You're willing to nurture and guide your ego in the way. I don't want competition on this. I don't care who is the top of the emotional and energetic superpower. This is not interesting to me at all. If you're here to do some work and actually bring yourself out fully to the world, that's what this program is for. Okay, not to have a battle over a psychic ability. Everyone is amazing. Okay, so please come and find your amazing and use it to cooperate with the rest of us to evolve. You're ready to embody your power. Okay, so many women in particular are having a hard time just engaging and staying steady in who they are and leading with the power in their life. And ready to express yourself fully to the world. Come out of the closet, so to speak, like bring yourself to us so that we can evolve together. And if you're looking for a community of others who are weird like you, or weird like me, I don't know if anybody's quite as weird as me, but I'm just joking. I don't know. If you're looking for a community of others to join in evolving. So those are the reasons to do the IEM membership. Like I said, you're always welcome to play and do a reading anytime. This is why you would do this. Monthly online support group. Okay, so this was one of the body maps I drew this is the calling, right? What the group feels like to me. We work through emotional freedom, allowing kind of this fertile freedom and independence. And we foster through kind of strong boundaries, the growth of the new, okay? And we account for our ancestors and stay connected with each other through our community and being strongly cooperative or empathic. And we're rooted in the vibration of who we are, in our power. That's a body map representing that. Okay. So how much does it cost? That's a big one everybody wants to know. So this membership costs $286 a month, okay? And one medical intuitive reading costs $250 a month. So you get a lot more for your money here. In order to join, you have to put $143 down to hold your space because there are only 10 slots. Okay, so I'm only taking 10 people. I put a lot of time and energy into the people I work with, and so I need to limit it so that I don't lose my mind. Okay, so I take $143 to hold your spot, or you can put the whole $286 down if you feel like it. And that will be billed on the 15th of the month. So I start the new waves quarterly, the 15th of every quarter, and each wave will start all the 15th, and then you will be billed forward for the next month on this membership. So at the 286, you will be billed from June to July, and then you'll have 286 billed on July to August, etc. There is a 6-month minimum enrollment, that is no one. I think I've lost 2 people in the entire 2 years I've done this. So people don't tend to drop. I've noticed they can evolve, and we have kind of a maintenance program they go into if they want. But I do think getting into it with a full commitment to the transformation, it takes probably between 3 to 6 months. And the people who have wanted to drop before 4 months, a lot of them started into the work right about 3 months. And I think that the 6-month plan is probably, of course, everything's individual, but that's what I've seen be the most effective, at least getting through that 6-month window for most people. And then there are discounts. So if you want to pay monthly, you can pay this way. Or if you pay in advance, you can do, it's 2.5% off, I believe, for a quarterly payment. It's 5% off if you pay for 6 months at a time. And it's a 10% savings if you pay for a full year. So a quarterly cost would be like $836.55. The semi-annual is $1,630.20. And the annual will be $3,088.80. So all this is also on your, I believe it's all on your handout if you need to look back. I also offer 2 discounts for different populations. One, I offer a SAGE discount. So if you're over 65 and you're a SAGE, the cost monthly is $226. And I will offer discounts to college students, and that they can pay $216 a month for the plan. All righty. So how do I join? This is actually done completely online. So here are the instructions here. You're actually going to go to drabiwallace.com and you're going to choose IEM memberships from the menu. And then you'll have to scroll down and you're going to click the button that says, membership join. And I will show you how to do this in 1 second. And then you're going to complete that online application and you're in. So let me actually stop the share for a moment. I'm going to just check in with everyone and see how people are doing. Everybody's doing okay. Thumbs up. Doing okay. All right. So I'm going to go to the website and just show you really briefly how to get through that. See if I can share it. All right, share. Okay. So here's the website, and hopefully I can see you guys. Can you guys see that? Are you seeing the website? Awesome. Okay, so you're going to go to IEM memberships. So you just click that, okay? And it's going to say the Art of Evolution at the top. And if you're wanting to join, you're going to scroll down to, guess we need to take the webinar off there, to this portion, which is the monthly or the annual membership. You can click either one of those, will take you to the membership joining page. Let me make sure that actually transitions. Can you see the joining page? Okay, so when you do, this is actually very simple. You just fill it out and you're going to see what I want you to pay attention to actually as you go through here is that it says IEM 2021 membership. So make sure you're signing up for the right plan. And it should be only one, but I've had fun in the past. Okay, so you're going to fill out your name and your birth date, address. They have gender if you want to put it, and your pronouns are here. The location is it doesn't matter, but it will be virtual for the membership. I do have options of coming into the office if you live in Washington State for some of the services, like the supplement check. And then you want to put your payment information here. If you link a bank account, that's fine. That's a direct bank account withdrawal. That actually cost me a lot less, so that'd be great for me. But you are certainly welcome to do either version. There's a credit or debit card option there. And then down here it says I authorize Dr. Aubrey Wallace to send email or text which include unencrypted protected health information. I will never do that. Okay, so you can click this if you want, but you will not have any health information shared. This particular was a doctor-based platform. So you can click it or not click it. I'm okay the way. I will not be using your health information and will not share any health information ever. This one, however, is important. So you do have to sign the contract, basically. So here's the contract, and you can go through it if you like. It just explains what I just said. and what, what happens with I'm not being your doctor, right? All that stuff. And then at the very end, it also describes what you get for your membership and that it's a 6-month commitment. So you will have to sign that and accept that in order to sign up. All right. So that is how you do it.